You're listening to the Visibility, Influence and Impact podcast, episode number 62. Hello, you're listening to the Visibility, Influence and Impact podcast. My name is Jane McKay, and on this show, we talk to entrepreneurs who are getting fearlessly visible in their business about starting, building and creating the business and life of their dreams while having incredibly honest, in-depth and rich conversations that will inspire you to become fearlessly visible, create influence and generate meaningful impact with your own incredible business. Hello and welcome to the new Visibility, Influence and Impact podcast. I'm your host, Jane McKay from Jane McKay Communications, marketing consultant and coach who works with people across the world to bring the business of their dreams to life, to get fearlessly visible, generate incredible influence and impact across the world that they work in. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've been on here because I have been gearing up to bring this rebranded podcast to you. So why am I doing this? One of the things I realized working with clients was that getting visible was actually their main issue with marketing. When we get visible, all other things can fall into place. But until you address your issues around getting visible, none of your marketing is going to be as effective. Now, one of the key pieces to getting visible is getting really clear on your values and making sure that the work that you do and the clients that you work with are values aligned. And it's something that we often overlook in our marketing. Values are seen as something that corporations have, or it's something that we keep to our personal lives, but it's not something that we often address in our personal brands. And that's what I'm really focusing on now, is helping you to build your personal brand by bringing you the stories of women and men across the world who are building really powerful personal brands. So when I started this podcast back in 2018, my focus was very much about bringing the stories of women across the world to the forefront of our thinking and just sharing them across the world. And I saw the podcast as a really great vehicle to go back and speak to Jane back in 2009 and say, hey, I know you've just moved from Melbourne to a tiny town in East Gippsland, population less than 1,000 and still is. But, with an internet connection and a webcam and a community, you too can have a really strong business that you can get visible in, generate influence, and create incredible impact on your clients and on the world. So that's why I'm here. That's why I've rebranded this to Visibility, Influence, and Impact to be more inclusive than Smart Women in Business, which was no longer serving me or my listeners, hello listeners and viewers on YouTube. So I wanted to bring that out now and chat about that with you. The next thing for me is influence. Now, I don't want to generate influence in the influence for influence's sake, as we see people focusing on vanity metrics and only generating influence for their own personal good. I'm talking about influence for the greater good and having a really incredible impact on the world for the positive. I see that generating influence on those around us is the point of marketing. So when we market well and we do it based on our values, we're actually generating influence on those around us, and those around us create our community, which is actually what marketing is all about. It's about creating a community around your brand. And I'm really excited to start focusing some more energy and content and podcasts and videos on that. And focusing on how you as a personal brand can generate this incredible community around you, a community of people that want to see you succeed. One of the things I've realized in my 13 years of being a business, happy biz birthday to me, it's just happened this last month, is that you don't have to have people in your direct physical world to be part of your community. You don't have to be able to hug them, as we know over the last 2 years of COVID. But it's incredible the number of DMs and emails and voice notes and just words of encouragement and memes. Most of my relationships at this point are based on memes from beautiful people around the world who have said, hey, Jane, I love your podcast. I love listening to you. I love your guests. And while my guests will still be focused on women, I don't want to ignore the folks who are from every color of the rainbow of the gender world. I aim to be as inclusive as possible. So that is part of why I wanted to change it from Smart Women in Business, because I felt it was excluding a whole massive portion of the population, but it will still obviously be focused on women and people who identify as women. So impact, your impact just needs to be impactful to you. It doesn't have to be this incredible, oh my God, I've got 1 million followers and I've got 10,000 viewing hours on YouTube. It just has to be about what is important to you and where you want to have impact and how it's important to those who you have impact on. So I work with a lot of small business owners, and it's about creating a business that has impact on them and their lives, their clients, and obviously their families and their communities, because the more money we put in the hands of good people, the more impact for the positive we can have on the world exponentially. And that's what I see my role is as a personal brand coach, personal brand designer, and all the other technical things that I do in my business is around helping people generate impact for good that works exponentially. So I'm behind the scenes, helping them get really visible, generate their impact and create that, generate their influence and create that exponential impact. So this is why I'm back, baby, with Visibility, Influence and Impact, a podcast for small business owners and growing business owners who have really big ideas and are ready to get fearlessly visible, make mistakes, go with progress over perfection, be imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect, and get fearlessly visible, generate that influence and create a massive impact on the world. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I love seeing your reviews. It absolutely lights my heart up. So expect more of this progress over perfection content. If you've listened to me stumble through this, I used to be very much about having every word scripted and not embracing that imperfect side of myself, but I'm letting go of that. So wish me luck, folks. And I am excited to see you here in the new world of visibility, influence, and impact. And if you want more of that, look for the Visibility, Influence, and Impact Facebook group, where I will be sharing more content and tips on how you can get fearlessly visible, generate influence, and create a massive impact on the world. A big love, party people. See you soon. Thanks for listening to the Visibility, Influence and Impact podcast. If you'd like access to the show notes, please visit my website, janemckaycommunications.com.au/blog. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to hear more, please subscribe. Until next time, keep getting fearlessly visible, create your influence, and generate an exponential impact on your world.